Hi, so this week there were two readings, both about political mashups, one by Ethan Zuckerman and one by Edwards and Tyron, which is a fantastic name. Zuckerman, and I guess the other text, but Zuckerman goes into more detail about it. He starts by saying that Web 2.0 means that activism is a lot easier now, because people create tools for sharing images, such as funny cat images, and because these are so easy to use, people can use it for other means, just as easily. He says that because these websites and tools are now used for both the banal and the activism, it becomes very hard for governments to stop it, because he uses the example of the tracking of the Tunisian presidential plane, which was posted on Dailymotion. The government then banned Dailymotion, which, because other people were using it for funny cat pictures and sharing funny videos, a lot more people noticed and got a bit more angry about why it was happening, and so became more clued in with the activism linked to it. But he says that when governments don't block the websites, they try and imprison the people who put up the activism content in the first place. And he says that this doesn't really work because they still have contact with the outside world and get people to blog for them or to speak out for them in general. Think Edward Snowden, for example. He hasn't been imprisoned, but because people know that he would be, and because this is circulating on the internet, people become more interested in what he tried to say in the first place. And Zuckerman also says that for activism to become viral, it needs to be funny, which you can also see in this example of Edward Snowden. People make so many memes about the NSA and spying on people that it's become well known through everyone, even the people who wouldn't have known so much information in the first place. Edwards and Tyron build on this idea, saying how the internet is extremely important for citizen involvement in political aspects. And they say that mashup are a means of three different things. The first is political advocacy, and they use the example of the Vote Different video, which is a parody of an Apple advert. They say that these mashups are used as a tool to speak out, and that intertextuality and parody are important to do so, and it gets a lot more people involved and gives people a voice. The second is political protest, and they use the example of a mashup of Bush's speeches, which is similar to the Cassette Boy video that recently came out that uses Cameron's speech to do a rap. He says that in this instance it's a sign of political resistance, and that the DJ isn't acting as a creator, but rather an editor, and they're constrained by the videos that already exist about the person that they're trying to speak out about. And the third is a means of political observation, where again he uses an example that looks at the Bush administration, this time in the form of a fake movie trailer about Godfather 4. Because it's set out as a trailer and not as a complete narrative, it links back to Eisenstein and how the audience begin to make meanings between each of the shots. So really the message in the video becomes a lot more personal and more people can relate to it, even if they don't know a lot about what's being commented on in the first place. They say that these three different forms of mashup empower citizens to speak out about things that they may not have chance to otherwise, and the fact that they use existing media text to do so means that it becomes a lot more accessible for people who don't necessarily know as much about the political side as the creators. However, they also say that these mashups look more at the problems rather than solutions, which just lead you to ask, sure, it may be easy to talk about the problems, but how do we talk about the solutions? How do we have a say in that side of it? And that's a thought that I'm going to leave you with today. So yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye!